All right, so we are here. We have returned successfully. It took some effort, but my computer can't keep me down. I'm stronger than any technology, except for most technologies that I'm not stronger than. They're very strong. Technologies are weird. Anyways, but I won this time, and we got here, and we're late, and we may be down a god, but I mean, what's new? Things are always off kilter for the Pantheon. We can do this. This is me. I'm Patrick. These are Gauntlet people. They're wonderful. We're here with Monsterhearts 2. Once again, we return 3 months of godly insanity coming into the final climax, the last month. The what are we doing here? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Something's probably going to blow up or fall down or light on fire. I mean, come on. We have to have good pyrotechnics at some point. Ooh, I have Harley Quinn nails. Take that, world. There's little masks. Again, thank you, Jim Crocker. He's amazing. He's wonderful. He sent me things in the mail, and they're awesome, and they're super annoying if I'm being honest, but they look cool. Okay, so we're here. Last time things happened. There was time skipping. There was weird, bad prophecies. There was killing people, but then saving them. There was actually a really touching scene with Magdalena and three of you, two of you here, but not David, I think. Um, yeah, pulling out Weeds through the Poachly. So few times I'll have to say that going forward. But her divinity out of Magdalena sort of bringing a curse on three of you, and we'll see how that clears up or doesn't. Feel free to leave it laying if you don't want to do anything with it. But conditions, they work. Also strings, pull them on each other. Mechanics, I forget. Other things I forget. There are safety tools. We have X card, which is like this or saying something or typing it in the chat, although that's sort of iffy because I don't notice it all the time. Also, we have script change tools with pause and rewind and fast forward, and we did a lot of script change stuff last time, so don't be afraid. It can be big, it can be bold, it can undo all sorts of stuff. Who knows? So, since last time, and in the email I talked about, we're going to play around with season advances, see how that sort of changes things, moves it forward. And so everyone should be picking up a season advance for your character this time. And then they'll be open and on the table going forward. But we'll go left to right and start with Barry. What did you choose for Khonshu, and talk about it and why and things like that?
Sure. I'm Barry. My pronouns are he, his. I'm playing Khonshu, the Egyptian god of the moon, using the hollow skin. And her pronouns are she, her. I was taking a look at the ghost move, Helpful Spirit, originally. I had hit an advance right at the end of the last session, and I thought that was about the most correct way to take things. I was looking for the season advances at looking at like rewriting or picking a different skin or possibly rewriting a darkest self, but I was like, that's not quite where I'm at yet. And so I figured I'd pick up Helpful Spirit and then see where that took me. And then I did end up using the season advance on two of the growing up moves, based on kind of like how I think things shook out with Magdalena. I took Share Your Pain, and based on where I think things might go with some of the other folks in the Suntheon, I took Call People on Their Shit.
Cool. So that Helpful Spirit, when you help someone resolve a condition, gain a string on them. So keep in mind with conditions, especially some characters I know have stacked up with them. I don't know how y'all are doing in particular, but you can act to clear them. It's narrative, and so you can swoop in and try and harp on other people's conditions in a narrative attempt to sort of bring them up and resolve them. And anybody who is bearing a condition that they would like to get rid of, Khonshu would like to eat it for you.
And that's one of the things that actually the Share Your Pain move is good at. It's to help break patterns of like isolation, which is cool. You can like remove conditions from yourself or from other people, or like take +1 forward to help yourself, or give someone else +1 forward to help other people, which is super cool.
Neat. How do you see that as relating to an evolution for Khonshu? What do you think has changed in her mindset or outlook?
Well, let's see. Narratively, we were talking with kind of the record skip, getting her kind of back into herself. And I think that like now that she sees like the choice that she's made for herself, like I don't know that any of the other gods have necessarily made the choice to, pursue Nyx and become gods. And I can be there to. I know what it's like when it's bad, and I can be there for them and there to help.
Cool. So it's an element of like we're seeing Susanna. Is that it?
That's correct.
Yes. We're seeing Susanna sort of come forward for the first time in our series here.
Correct. She was, and just to like reestablish like where she was, she and Vesta were in or Catherine were in like a finishing school together. Susanna was like a year ahead of her and kind of a mentor to her, but also like a kind of that first element of rebellion for Catherine. So going to try and be the big sister.
So I know you're the Hollow and all about conditions. What do you have for conditions right now?
Right now, I've only got 2. One of them is Magdalena's Curse from the end of the last session. The other is one that Angus gave me, which is Aware. And so what I'm going to be doing is looking for an opportunity to act as though I'm embodying that so that I can make that part of my concept of myself moving forward.
And I guess finally, do you have any particular idea how Magdalena's Curse has been like manifesting with you, how that's been affecting you?
I think that it's been a lot. I mean, physically, there was the sigil or something that would have appeared, and I think that I'm uncomfortable with that. Now, I'm gonna look real quick at Huitzilopochtli's domains here, real quick, because I don't remember them off the top of my head. The sun.
They're unpleasant.
Oh, the sun and war, just fine. Yeah, I see that other one too. I'm not going to mention that for the moment. I think that the way that that's going to manifest is that I don't know that I have. I mean, the sun being one of them. I don't know that. Like one of the things I read about Khonshu as a deity was that they were like often a neutral party, which is kind of interesting to me. And so like, whereas like once upon a time I was thinking, oh, this might be a character that could be bent by one side or by one pantheon or another to be used in like not great ways. I feel like I'm better positioned now to actually try and navigate what happens now. I don't think Ra is probably terribly happy about the fact that that one of her gods has given up on her, and so I may need to serve as some sort of mediating force between us and them.
Interesting. So David, what have you chosen for Oz?
Yeah, so I kept on going back and forth, and I just finally decided, fuck it, I'll just do what I was originally thinking of. So I also chose to have Oz grow up, which sounds so wrong. But kind of him blowing up at Ra and Enma last time, I think he's realizing that in the past he was perfectly happy to be used if that meant that he didn't have to be alone. And I think now he realized that basically that's a shitty way to go about not being alone. So instead he is trying to get, basically the make others feel beautiful is him realizing, hey, it's better if I actually give people reasons to want to be around me as opposed to just doing what they tell me to or what they want me to. And I think he's also like, for Share Your Pain, I think he's also like, hey, look, I think he saw a lot of Ra in him, or a lot of himself in Ra, and that's why he was like trying to reach out and be like, because because both of them were basically banished from their families. So now he's like, hey, look, Ra really needs to just confront the fact that he's in pain. Oh shit, I've never done that either. So I think that's that where he's, rather than making a joke and like kind of keeping it as like he like willing to talk but not fully engage with his his painful past. Now he's like more comfortable to say, hey, look, no, this is what I need.
Nice. I like that. That's neat. And I'm curious to see the like make someone feel beautiful. And I'm curious to see like how we see that same spirit from Oz, but less like less here, please, like use me and whip me sort of thing because you're paying attention to me. What do you have for conditions right now?
What do I have for conditions? I have grayscale, ungrateful dead, and empty-headed.
Wow. People have been mean to you.
Enma has been mean to me.
Okay, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. So cool. I can see where you have some like a lot of your evolution there is sort of railing against some of those and trying to prove otherwise. So I think you're fairly well fictionally positioned to clear some of those out fairly easily if you want to.
Like, are you talking about before we get into play, or just like when we get to play?
When we get to play,
Okay.
it doesn't even need to be like a full scene by itself. You can weave it into another scene if you want to start getting rid of those. And Ryan, why don't you tell us what's going on with Liam?
He hasn't been having a great day. He gave up his divinity and apparently got re-divinitied because I am switching playbooks over to Unholy Were Serpentine mashup because Opep is back. Woo. I assume
Excited about all of that.
Yeah, I assume that Upep had not been making appearances in Pantheons if Ra is captive, because you probably don't want the snake who exists just to try to eat Ra all the time. But there was a hole, so now there's a snake in it. And Liam will still try to be the adult in the room, it's just that he's got a fucking murder serpent chewing at the back of his mind now.
Which is fun. So, like, what did that feel like, and what did it mean for Liam to lose Pluto, to be without a god?
Sorry, snickering at berries. Who among us does not have a fucking murder serpent chewing at the back of their mind?
I mean, true.
I think he was just fairly bereft because he was Pluto for a while and then just suddenly gone, sort of, in an instant when he made that choice. And he was terribly human for a while. And then I switched his incarnation to blindsided because I think that it was a complete shock to him when, ta-da, he is awoken, apotheosis or whatever.
Incarnated.
Incarnated with Nightmare Murder Snake.
Nice. So how long do you think he wandered around sort of desolate and without? Oh no. Oh, this must be stopped.
Apoptheosis. Barry, I hate it so much, thank you.
Oh, and also I forgot, but there is a new Pantheon symbol.
Oh, sweet. Whoa, and Pluto is just gone from it. Nice.
Yeah, I to be totally honest, I don't know what it means that you're now in a different position than you were before, but I'm curious to figure it out. I
Yeah,
was like, this seems meaningful. I'll do it.
yeah. When you asked what does it mean for a new god to come in when Nyx is currently probably dead, I was like, well, I don't know. But I know that Upip doesn't care, being a force of entropy and chaos and whatnot.
Sweet.
Heck, what questions was I supposed to answer? Yeah, I think that Liam was just kind of moping in his underground pomegranate room with some of the sheen come off of it because there's still tons of pomegranates all over, but he's not the lord of murder granites anymore.
Also, like, you had to actually walk all the way from wherever your pomegranate room is out to the entrance to the subway, and, like, none of it moved aside and folded space for you just because it was more convenient.
Yeah, he's never had to try to remember the turns of the impossible underground anymore. They just kind of went where he wanted.
Um, so yeah, what was it like to be
His
blindsided by a new
hair hasn't
god?
been perfect every day. That's the
Oh
worst of it.
god. Oh, your black jeans get like scuffed and dirty and not black. They get like stains and dirt on them.
Yeah, and like the dye starts wearing off a bit, where it's not like they look perfectly distressed, but they look like maybe you just need a new pair of jeans.
Whew. Wow, these are harsh problems.
And,
Yeah. So, what was it like? How did Apep come to inhabit Liam now?
I think probably one day as he was trying to navigate the underground, which, used to make a lot of sense, and if it didn't, he could impose some bizarre condition upon it, and it would suddenly make sense, because if he says you need to jump the turnstile and walk before until, either a train hits you or he finds you, so that is how the underground works. Now that doesn't work so much, and he has to worry about things like trains. But sort of like a light switch flipping or something, it suddenly made sense, and it didn't seem so dark and strange anymore. It sort of felt homey in a certain way until he got back and pulled off his mirror shades and realized that his eyes are not human at the moment. They looked kind of snaky, and I think from there it went downhill quick.
Love it. So I guess new playbooks talk about your new moves.
Yeah, so I retained I Believe in You because he still believes in everyone. He just cannot anymore gain integrity to add to that move because he lost it all. Is that a thought?
I was just trying to figure out what you would roll with. I mean, obviously a +0 is open, but I was trying to figure out if that feels right.
Yeah, I think the summary for Unicorn is like if you take this move, but not the rules, then you just roll flat every time.
Oh, okay. Then if it talks about that, we'll go with that. So you still believe in people?
Oh, yeah, I could roll with Dark, except my Dark is -1, Barry. Don't make it worse for me. Yeah, and I have the big reveal because I apparently now have a form as a giant snake monster. And patience is a virtue because Liam was always kind of judgmental at the best of times. And now, if he doesn't snap at you right away, he has bonuses to coming back as a murder serpent and biting your face off.
That's cool. I like that, and it's a good build up. Silence as a character move can be hard to flag as going on. So feel free to step in and tell us exactly how much you're not responding to a situation. Remember that move for yourself because it'll be hard for us to sort of remember it's there and flag it for you. Um, do. Has anything like changed about Liam's fashion, aesthetic, musical performance approach, or was that all Liam and it doesn't matter what god is going with him?
It's similar, except there's a bit more of an industrial, bleepy goth as opposed to stompy goth variation. I guess actually stompier goth. Still has the black leather jacket and everything, but there's not a hand painted Pluto symbol anymore. There's this like big snake kind of curving all over it. He's got one of those tattoos where it looks like, on the curve of his hand, there's snake biting and everything, in addition to his neck tattoos from before.
All the
There's
best
some
choices.
important variations upon his wardrobe.
I gotcha. Cool. And you transform into a terrifying snake creature. It's beautiful. Yeah, so you're not a werewolf, and we don't have necessarily like the full moon or like things threatening your home or den or your loved ones, which are sort of the expected werewolf triggers. Do you have any idea what sort of things might trigger that transformation in you?
I mean, aside from the overarching urge to eat the sun, I mean, I think
True.
that I left in Underworld Underground because, Up is of underground rivers and causes earthquakes and that kind of stuff. So, not the, gold and diamonds and stuff side of things, but there's stuff down there that probably doesn't like you and probably wants to eat you and your soul and the sun.
Cool. But you're more comfortable transforming in the dark, less in the sunlight?
Yes, I assume that, as before, I'm more comfortable underground in the dark, being gothy and spooky, and not super fond of being above ground in daylight.
Love it.
Hissing at the sun is a goth thing, but also a snake thing.
So how did you, make your reemergence to the Pantheon and to the public?
Probably through the same sort of thing, where there's those, it looks like somebody had a mimeograph as they made these awful flyers, but they're all, like, Lord of the Underground is dead, all hail the Lord of the Underground, but with kind of a stamped snake symbol on them, and then Underground Warehouse Show kind of thing, but with very industrial vibe, very sneaky vibe.
Nice. So you threw your own wake/coronation ceremony.
Yep.
Amazing.
Like you do.
Like
Can't
you
trust
do.
anyone to organize things here.
I love it. Okay. So I'm trying random experiment here. We'll see if it goes anywhere. I like playing around with timelines and structuring of stories. So we're going to see if some meta nonsense has any sort of neat effect or whether it's just unnecessary bullshit. I'm open to both possibilities. But we're going to try an end of the comic book snippet sort of thing that plays out over several issues where you get just a couple of panels at a time until we see what the final thing is. Unnecessary bullshit is our brand into it. So we're gonna try having the epilogue for the characters play out in 4 bits at the end of each session over this month. Until we get the big final meaty sort of epilogue scene in the 4th one. And so I've got some questions here. The idea for this one is just very, very starter, very vague. Let's get some hints and overtones of what might be going on. And we'll save finding out details and expanding it for future sessions. And this will be at the end of tonight, so you have the rest of the session to sort of think about it. But here are the 2 questions I want you to think about. So imagine this in comic book form. We're coming to the end of the arc, the end of each issue, however you want to think about it. And of course, there's the splash page with the Pantheon symbol. So in your splash page with the Pantheon symbol, what's the caption? What's the tagline that goes inside of it? one word, a couple of words, a little bit of doggerel lyrics, whatever you want to go with. It's just sort of an over feel to like what your epilogue feels like. Make sense? Okay. Part 2 is we're going to start with each of you with a very close-up, tight shot of an eye or both your eyes, or maybe it's secretly someone else's eyes. But we're all going to start with a tight close-up shot of eyes. What do they look like? Are they your eyes? Are they your God's eyes? Are they do they have like a particular emotion in them? Can we see some like emotion shining through in them? And is there anything else about the panel, the artwork around the eyes that we should know about? Any other clues that are laying out there, sort of atmospheric, environmental, or makeup or wounds that we see on your face, or one of your eyes is missing, or strange stuff like that? So we're going to get your Pantheon symbol with your caption. We're going to get a close-up tight shot of your eyes and some sort of clues that lay out from there. We'll save dialogue, details, storyline moving forward with the epilogue for next time. Sound interesting?
I love it.
Cool. Bum bum bum. So we've talked about season advances. We've talked about getting ready for the epilogue. The last thing is to sort of advance our timeline here. So, like I said, we're gonna move forward 6 months from where we were before, and so I want to give everybody the opportunity to make some sort of major structural changes to our setting and our cast of like NPCs and backdrop characters. I want to give everybody the chance to make one or two major changes to some place, some person, some storyline that's been going on, some part of our story to twist it and reflect time going forward, and like playing with a different aspect of that storyline. The general shape of the changes that I've thought about, and they sort of match in a bit with the sort of 4 points of Monsterhearts. But you can think of them as break something, make something, discover something, or hide something. Really, I'm open to any sort of storyline bullshit that you want to throw in, but I think those things really fit with the ethos of Monsterhearts and with Wicked and Divine. The something can be a person, so break something could mean like destroying some part of the Pantheon building or some part of London, or it could mean killing an NPC, or it could mean destroying their godhood, like taking away their power in some way. Discover something could be finding like a new member of the Suntheon, or we have that mysterious last spot in our Pantheon. So you could tell me who that god is. It could be discovering someone that we thought dead, like back again. Crazy bullshit like that. Does anybody have any clarifying questions there?
I think I understand what you're asking us to do. I just have no idea where to start.
Cool. We're gonna take a quick break here. Just so you have a chance to think about it and figure out what you're gonna say. And they don't have to be earth shaking. They don't have to be the most important things that have ever happened from any changes ever. And like I said, just one or two. But I want to get a different look at our setting going forward. So here's a song. It's lovely. We'll take 8 minutes and come back at 30 after. Cool. losing gods at an alarming rate here.
Must be nearing the end then.
Hey!
Hey, yeah, my other computer was having some issues. I was getting nonstop popping, so I figured I'd try my other computer that is newer but is supposed to be lower spec. So, and then other ugly stuff happening that I haven't had a chance to deal with. So, just a warning: I'm not fully up and running yet, but I can make believe.
That's okay. We're still in talking phase. We can take this slowly. We will baby the technology, and maybe it'll get us to the end. Let's all cross our fingers.
Technology is the real great darkness.
Whew, that is the truth. Okay, so I talked a whole lot and asked like 8 billion questions, and I was like, write 3 news storylines all on the fly right now. Make sure they're in haiku form. So let's see how you did. We did that in what was that, Paul's game. We sort of fought the internet. That was fun. I like it. I'm into it. But let's see how you did. I will be judging you, of course. All of this must be up to snuff, or else I'll hate you forever. Untrue. This is all just random nonsense. It could be a makeover, like your character comes out with a new style. That's enough. But we'll start with Barry and Khonshu. What do you think is a major change to what's going on?
Well, actually, I have an idea that I was initially going to use for myself for a PC, but that I think might work for the Suntheon.
Ooh.
I do want to check in real quick because I really don't know who all is like officially in the Suntheon. I know we got Ra. I know Father Richards is attached somehow. I don't know if Father Richards is a specific deity.
Father Richards is Surya. I should write these in the NPCs at some point. I will before next week.
Okay, so we got Surya.
Dia is Apollo.
Nice. So, is it just the 2 of those, or were there any other ones besides Magdalena?
We had Magdalena. Ra. I will go ahead and throw out that if we ever get around to having Noel on screen, Oz's former cult mate, he's going to be Inti.
Okay. So one of the things that I was thinking about was using the Aztec god Zolotl, Exo, Lotl, yeah, Zolotl. Because Zolotl is a couple of things. One, Zolotl is a god of monsters, which is cool. 2, Zolotl is apparently the guardian of the sun as it takes its nightly trip through the underworld. And 3, I have a portrait that I would have loved to use for Zolotl, which now I'm going to have to go and pull off of Pinterest. But I will stick that on the sheet because I love it so much. And I guess 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've already pulled from the Aztec pantheon, and so I think that it would be appropriate for Ra to go back to the well.
I like it.
Can't see you holding up your 10 rating for me, so
It's beautiful. It's lovely. It's very nice.
6.6.
I suppose it depends on the picture. Let's see if you stick the landing.
Okay.
No, that's lovely. I like a new Suntheon member. I like a new god to play around with. Do you have any particular personality or story seed ideas for them?
I don't yet, but let me throw the portrait out there and see if anyone grabs onto anything with it. You may want to move on because technology.
Technology, indeed. I like it though. I am excited. Cool. So Ryan, let's get a change from you.
I'm like, I shouldn't throw in another Syntheon if we just added another Syntheon. Oh no, I have to reconsider all my things.
I'm open to all things. Things are wonderful. Tell me your thing.
So I was going to throw in one of the gods I was originally thinking about as well, who I ended up not going with because it's very Syntheon, which is Mithras, Roman, like,
Nice.
terribly corrupted version of Mithra, who, like, gains sun and soldier cults and all sorts of nonsense, super secretive. Some of
And
the
Christmas.
earlier and Christmas too, I guess, and and some of the earlier contracts and oaths being a big deal because I was like, I don't want to play a Fae. That's too much like unicorn with extra bookkeeping. So I also have a picture that I will dump in here.
Nice. And how even more appropriate that we'll be playing a game on the winter solstice. I bet nothing crazy will happen with him then. No. Calm. Ooh. Picture. I'm gonna go look at a picture. Stop being slow. Technology, show me. Show me the thing. Amazing. I love it. He's the worst. He's my everything. Sorry, I'm just taking in how much I love him and how much I despise him instantly. It's real good.
I need to share this on the screen somehow because I love this picture so much. Is that okay if I do that real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I want it to be preserved for eternity because it's really beautiful. It's really lovely. I just love it so much.
It's amazing. It's I love. Oh, that's a necklace of feathers there. That's wonderful.
Thank you for indulging me.
Yeah. No, it's the worst. It should be indulged. So we have Zalato, we have Mithras. Anything else you want to say about Mithras, Ryan?
She's cute as heck and will probably kill us all. So there we go.
Into it. Love it. Ooh. I like Torques. Odd segue. David, how you feeling? How's tech treating you?
Well, the computer is definitely acting a lot better. It's getting everything up, which I think I've done, but also having no time to actually think about this, which means that I have two things. One, I'm not sure if it's a good idea, or I can add a god. Should I just follow the pattern and add a god? I should add a god.
I thought your whole thing was like having bad ideas that we're not supposed to like.
Oh, this is the worst idea.
Oh, I'm excited.
Going from what everyone else has done, I'm going to add a god that I was originally thinking of playing, but decided not to because I wasn't sure how to make them not be just a terrible person who doesn't get along with anyone. I bring in Baron Criminal. I'm trying to remember the spelling. I probably got it wrong.
So is this Suntheon or is this the last spot in the Deatheon here?
Oh, this is definitely Deatheon.
Wow. We get a complete wheel.
Especially because, yeah, there's the picture.
Oh, I remember that picture.
That picture is so amazing.
Sexy Jason. It's amazing.
Sexy Jason wearing a hijab.
Yes.
No, I've been. Honestly, this cosplayer is just amazing. I was like, oh, she'd be so perfect to base a Wicked and Divine character off of.
So yeah, talk to me about Baron Criminal.
So Baron Criminal is one of the Loa and one of the not as well known. Well, I say not as well known because when people talk about voodoo, everyone thinks about Baron Samedi. He's Baron Criminal is one of the other death gods, specifically the god of criminals who have died, murderers, terrible, terrible people. And you basically, if you're a practicing of the voodoo, you basically call upon Baron Criminal to punish the wicked for you. This guy is sadistic as fuck. Like, the way that you're supposed to summon him is by essentially torturing a black chicken. It has to be a black feathered chicken. But I think it was burn it to death while it's alive. Yeah, this is not a nice person. He is the spirit of the first murderer. And I figure this incarnation of Baron Criminal is all about vengeance.
Interesting.
And I don't know if we've got I think we've already got a line on there, but I'm gonna hard line on animal abuse in this game. So
I appreciate that, and you're right. It was already out there.
So we will not have them doing the traditional way of summoning the bear.
I mean, we may run across some charred chicken bones at some point, but no, we're not going to have like flaming chickens on screen at any point. But I like it. I like the whole flavor of it, and oh, that's cool. That's very mean and appropriate to the picture. Society of Vegan Voodooists.
I'll have to talk to Wendy about that.
All right. So we'll loop back around. Barry, is there anything secondary that you want to throw in? Can be bigger, can be smaller, can be nothing. One is good.
I haven't landed on anything yet, but I know that we are at a little bit of a shortage of like regular people. I don't know if that's a thing that we need more of. Question.
Regular people are fun. If nothing else, I can threaten them.
True. I'm gonna think about it for a minute.
Love someone, and then I will hurt them. I'm sorry. Was that too obvious?
You don't have a history of traditional games, do you, Patrick?
All right. Ryan, anything else that you want to throw in as a change over 6 months? Our sort of cues again are make something, break something, discover something, or hide something. Again, if nothing strikes you, I like new gods.
I think I'm gonna add in a new human NPC along with Barry. It's gonna be one of those that, I mean, they've been in the background of at least one panel every issue when we have scenes that aren't completely underground. So obviously recognize if you go back and reread, but when they pop up, everyone's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Can we talk
They've been
about
at every show?
all of them? Oh yes, can we talk about for a second how many feels I had from this last issue? Oh my god, I Like there was this epic trip to the one of the closest comic shops, which is like 40 minutes away from here. And then like I wanted to sit outside in the car and read it before I drove home, but then I had to stop halfway through, so I'm on like a 40-minute drive going, I just want to, it's right there. It's in the this road's really straight. I could read it and drive. Oh, I don't want to say anything about it in particular, but I loved it.
I subscribed digitally, so I got it like right before midnight my time, and I was like, I need to read it, but I can't read it right now, so I had to wait for my lunch break the next day, and I hated. And then there was a lot of screeching.
Yeah, the only time that I could breathe in it was when I went, so it was rough.
Also, I really liked the start of Die. It was a premise setter and not much unexpected from the like preview stuff, but it was really pretty. Sorry, wild digression. Comics are fun. David, anything else you want to add in as another major change?
Well, minor change. I think Oz finally got around to repairing his theater because before he didn't care if he was just living in a big pile of trash because he had no sense of self worth. Over the 6 months, he is like, no, I actually have value. However, it's not like the opulent black and white always displaying movies on every single available surface. It's been transformed into a black box theater.
Neat. Are there?
The junkies have been cleared out, but people are still like welcome. So there's oftentimes like actually, I think he's welcomed like a few like homeless people and things to like have a safe place to stay. I think Oz has also been spending a lot of time with Janice recently.
Nice.
I want to bring Janice back into it because Janice was cool.
Nice. I appreciate and can do that. Ray or Maya in particular, or both of them?
Oddly enough, I think both of them, but rarely together. Like Oz seems to be the person that both of them go to when they want to be away from each other.
Gotcha. Nice. So you said a black box theater. Does that mean like live performances as opposed to movies?
Sometimes, yeah.
Who's performing? Is it Oz? Is it magic things? Is it people?
Yes.
Nice. Varied billing. Cool. Any particular theme to the performances?
They tend to be very like emotionally charged things, like things that were written for the sake of like so that the person writing it like could get like can work through emotions and things like that. It's less about drawing in a crowd and more of like using self-expression to like communicate what's going on in people's lives.
Nice. And is it still black and white world inside?
Yeah, that's something that Oz can't control.
No, I like it. It's a cool effect. Cool. Well, I like all that. I think after our second break, I'll stop back in and check on human add-ins and see if we have any solider ideas. But we'll go forward and wildly play something, I guess. Here, Barry, what you got?
I had another like this is a different idea. This is more in the setting, and I don't know how well it'll work, but I really like the idea of like the two competing scenes of the Pantheon having real tension between each other, and then of course the all of the Enma fans kind of trying to be above it all. I don't know how to work that in though.
So you mean like fans and followers and stuff like that?
Well, in terms of like the like bringing some of the like cult devotion to the surface with it with the public. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that. I've got some ideas with things I've been thinking about, and I can explore that further, and we'll see what comes up with it.
Because I know I had named an NPC for when I had first introduced Susanna, who was like a kind of a late to the party kind of guy. Mark,
right?
Yeah. And I don't know. I wanna see the hearts and minds that it is that we're supposed to be like inspiring and affecting and stuff, but I don't quite know how to get to that in the big picture.
Cool. I think that's something fun to work towards. Thoughts? Other thoughts? I'm gonna move forward. All right.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
Oh no! They said words. What are more words? Say more words. I'm supposed to let you say words. Stressful. Okay. So, I think we'll go reverse order. Ryan, you have to start. We have not Pluto. Pluto's dumb and old and dead, and there's a new death god in his place, which I think is super interesting, by the way. I didn't point that out earlier. But what with the the spot for Pluto staying open, we have a new death god. That's super neat. That's cool. I love it. Okay, nerding. But Opep. Fucking Opep. Okay, we have fucking Opep here. So where do we see him?
I think we see him still in that same room with the kind of glowy pomegranate lighting and everything, kind of over at a completely unframed mirror that's been tacked up on the wall, like in space between cinder blocks or something, because, I mean, it's a strange room that's been converted into a bedroom at the underground. Nothing here is meant to be what it is.
No, I sort of love the aesthetic message of, I went to the trouble of making these glowing, hanging, perfectly crafted and woven pomegranate trees hanging from the ceiling, but whatever, I don't know, some cinder blocks and a mirror bit, fuck it.
Yeah, and he's kind of leaning in close to the mirror and moves down his mirror shades to reveal, like, snake eye. It kind of blinks and it's human eye, and blinks again and it's a snake eye.
I don't know. What do we see on his face? Is this still sort of like, whoa, this is weird? Or is this like, fuck yeah, my eyes do snake shit?
I think it's sort of conflicted horror, because he's like, I'm back in the club. But this is probably not a good thing.
Nice. So yeah, what are you driven by at this point? Obviously, you were desperate to get some sort of divinity back, which is interesting because, as far as you know, it still comes with the same curse. Although maybe you reset your clock.
I think there was, though he didn't want to admit it to himself, but you can't really lie to yourself. But hey, I don't have those rules anymore. Integrity's out the window. That if he already had the 2-year clock, not having the divinity to go along with it sort of means that you get the worst of everything. And he wasn't really sure if maybe he was off the hook, having been de-godified, but now he's back on the hook, but maybe he was never off, so who knows?
So if
probably
there
does have a calendar tacked onto the wall, and there's like death date, and then lots of question marks.
I love that there are like 4 or 5 different, like, could be here, but it could be here, but it might be here. So yeah, what are you wanting to go after, or is there someone that you want to go talk to?
Ooh, I don't know. I thought I was just having to supply an image here, and then I would get to hide again.
I mean, we can circle back around, but sort of flag where you think you want to take Opep out for a spin. Like, how do you want to start with him?
Because Angus isn't around, I probably want to go talk to Conchu or something.
Okay.
Even though I
Khonshu.
realize, Barry, that I'm not allowed to talk to you at games. We've established this.
Oh, that is true. So things will probably blow up. But Khonshu, you're somebody's second choice. Special. So David, where do we see Oz at the start of this comic?
Oh fuck. Late night pizza at like local establishment. I'm
Thanks.
trying to think of who's probably there with him. Maybe one of the Janices, or maybe one of the sun deities.
I like one of the Janices, Ray or Maya.
Let's do Maya.
So yeah, she's there with you. She's in like weird day glow neon club sportswear. It's very like they have a sort of athletic fashion, but with neon colors sort of aesthetic. It's odd. I think she's eating a slice of pizza and she's I mean, she's complaining about Ray, sort of. It's this thing where, like, do you know how much work and effort it takes to actually have some time where I can have a night off and be away from him? Like, we had to come here just because this place doesn't have any doors in it. Every time I walk through a door, he's walking through the other one. That's why we had to come to this outdoor restaurant.
Because it's tough, but it's good to have family. But spending some time away helps you appreciate it, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Ray's fine. Ray's great. It's the whole Janus thing is pretty great, but it's just
Being a god is exhausting.
it's so all the time.
No, I totally get it. I mean, and like people always want something from us.
There's 3 people taking a video of us right now. She turns and smiles and gives like a perfect ding sort of camera moment.
Yeah, Oz doesn't bother to turn, but he does give a polite wave. But I mean, I don't know. This is nice. Fuck, this is probably the first time I've ever been able to do something like this, but it feels good just like chatting with a friend, doing something normal.
It does. Do you think you're trying to trigger something here?
Yeah, I think this might be make her feel beautiful.
Okay. So give us a line or an action that really pushes it forward. Like, how are you've worked to make her feel comfortable. How are you making her feel special?
Yeah. Oh God, I think I actually like put my hand over her hand and say, "Hey, look, you ever need to get away? If you ever need to just feel human again, just ask, and I'll find a way to, you know, I'll pull some interference so you can, sneak away."
Nice. So let's go ahead and get a roll on that.
She feels so special right now. She feels all the special. It's a 13.
Nice. So let's see. Make others feel beautiful. When you make others feel beautiful, roll with hot. On a 10 up, choose 2 from below. So what are you going to choose?
I think only one of these has a mechanical effect. I'm gonna take one forward because she can't take experience. If she has a condition, she can remove it.
No, I think she definitely had a condition of like exhausted, I think, or worn down. I think you see over the course of this like meal, and as you say that, she holds on to your hand, like she turns her hand over and sort of holds on to yours for a few minutes. Um, and by the end of the meal, like she's looking energetic. She's looking peppy, like she's laughing at your jokes, even some of the stupid ones. But she's seeming more like the sort of party club princess that she always is.
By the way, I totally do the straw walrus act.
She almost laughs at that. You haven't quite gotten her that far. Nice. So you get to the end of the meal, and she says, "So where do you want to go next?"
Walk in the park.
Good. Nice. She's just like, you can see her thinking, like, do we have to go through any? And no, it's good. We don't have to go through any doorways to get there. We can walk. It's fine.
Oz is just thinking if fresh air sounds nice. He's still not very smart.
So the two of you head into the park, and we're going to skip around to Khonshu.
Yes.
So where do we see Khonshu? Like, what is our opening shot here in this new arc?
I kind of want to go right into the scene with Liam, because that's where the change is, right? That's where something's happening to Liam that he can't. Something's happening to Liam's body that he can't explain, and so he needs to go to a sibling figure.
Nice. So, I think Liam is seeking you out. So we're going to be in a place that screams Khonshu. So tell us where this is set, and tell us like what do you look like for this meeting?
How strictly do we need to stick to London?
Go where you want.
Because I'm thinking like an important part of Khonshu like getting, and of Susanna getting back to herself over the last 6 months has been like just like spending time on her own or with her parents, and just like reconnecting with that very human self. And so being in London is not helpful.
Cool.
So being somewhere else. So like I think like Paris at midnight.
Nice. And what do you look like? What are you wearing?
Khonshu does a lot of things for Susanna. Most importantly, the fashion sense. And so, if I'm going to meet up with Liam anyway, then I'm definitely going to. I can't be more goth, but I can still be goth.
Nice. So, Apep, Liam, how do you find her and how do you arrive?
I have a phone. It's fine.
Probably does resort to just texting her, and then as it gets back to Paris, it's a moment of like, what the fuck? How'd you get to Paris? Because yeah, sure, you gotta travel, but also fucking Paris. I mean, it's not like the subway in London logically connects to the subway in Paris, and I've got somewhat different powers of just making things link up the way I want them to now. This is awkward and inconvenient.
Wait, do I know that
Fine.
you're Apep? Or do I still think that you're Liam?
You quite possibly just think I'm Liam. I don't know. I don't think I texted everyone with, hey, so, group chat. Let's talk
Right.
about how I'm a snake now.
So, did you like send some way for Liam to get to you, or is he showing up as a surprise?
I would be happy to step by moonlight to come and get you.
I really want to see someone step by moonlight because we haven't done that yet.
Right?
Cool. Yeah. What does that look like? So we're starting midnight in Paris.
And I think that the thinking about this. I think that like the patterns of light of the Eiffel Tower are like there's like a column that kind of shoots up out of the city in kind of a similar pattern and then arcs northward splashing back down into London with a twinkling light show that you normally would have to take a flight or a boat to go and see.
Nice. So this like light show lands in front of you, Apep.
And even though Apep's wearing mirror shades and everything, he still kind of raises a hand to shield his eyes from this twinkly light show.
So do you say anything, Khonshu, as you reach out and grab him?
Yeah,
Or going back to Paris.
Yeah, I'll reach out and grab his hand and say, Liam, this is going to be so cool, and just grab him by the hand, and we'll I'll go the opposite direction.
I think we see Liam start to protest as whoop, they're going by moonlight again.
But it's too rad. Why would you not travel like this?
So do you think you're trying to turn him on with this sort of like whole extravagant show just to meet him for coffee?
No, I don't think that I am, but we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, Liam. Well, I am. I don't want to be anyone's second choice, so let's just roll it and call it good. Yeah, it's a 5.
Oh. Well, on the plus side, you get to mark experience.
Yeah, I did that.
Let me look. Yeah, you're super helpful.
Oh, I have an idea. I have a
Oh,
bad
yeah?
idea. Well, is there some horrible way that Magdalena's curse might come into effect?
I think that's interesting. How do you think that might look?
I think that the when we are traveling, like it's moving like that is not a thing that people are supposed to see. That's a thing that gods are supposed to see, and the that kind of kind of like brief omnipotence, I think, just like flashes back to like from like it shifts from white to red and takes us both momentarily back to that like to that moment in the underground. And when we land, it is not a light show, but in fact, like but total darkness. We're off target and not in the right place.
Nice.
But I don't know how to make it worse.
So I think you're coming down from that sort of like moonlight light show, and things shift from silver to crimson to black, and like you're sort of in nothingness for a moment, until a silver light, like sliver bit by bit, rises and shines like the full moon in the distance and casts light out on the scene as you find yourself on a roof in Paris. It's near to where you were, and actually has a table from the restaurant you were at, like the same tablecloth, the same place settings set up there. And as things are sort of like outlined in the silver light, it's like the light from the world sort of rushes back in. You hear the volume on the outside noise turned up until you're seated at a table like you were trying to be, like you thought you were going to be at the restaurant. You and Liam and Ra holding a small orb of Nyx's eye, a tiny moon in front of her face, and sort of playing with it. It said, "I'm sorry, I hope you don't mind. I took the liberty of stepping in and making some special arrangements." Yeah.
And Liam just reflexively just does sort of that, not even really hiss, but straight up cobra growl with fangs showing up, and then kind of catches himself like, "Whoa, sorry, that's out of nowhere."
I have had a stressful day. Woo, guys. Um, so, yeah, think about whether you want that to move into a full reveal, but we're going to skip away back to Oz and Maya. So do you think this is like turning into a full on date, or where do you see this going?
Well, so part of the reason why I said walk in the park is because there's no time ever in a comic like this that two people go in a walk in a park that doesn't get interrupted.
True enough. I have interruptions if you want one.
I can't speak for Maya, but Oz is not pursuing romance right now. However, that may not be that may not be a two-sided decision.
Okay, so I think y'all are walking through the park. Like Maya is very energetic and much more sort of bubbly and excited than she was before. She's definitely taking opportunities to like grab your forearm or like lean on your shoulder or things like that. She's being very, very touchy-feely, but not really like she's not going to make the first move, especially if you're not going to at least set up some sort of special effects going. Like, we're gods after all. Mm-hmm. But the two of you are walking through this park, and you see like a light over on the other side of the park, like rising up over the trees, like there's some sort of massive floodlights being turned on, or like sunrise is coming from a couple of blocks over. What do you do?
What do you think they want this time?
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they want to yell at us or lecture us or pass out pamphlets about how everything we do is wrong and we should wear better clothes.
I mean, I really should. I look down, I'm wearing like a jean jacket and a ready t-shirt and jeans, and like even Oz knows that, there's better things he could be wearing.
I don't know. I like how it looks on you.
Well, should we just get it over with?
I guess let's go be public with the public.
So yeah, we walk towards the light, and obviously we're expecting a sun god. So who is waiting for us?
So you come out the other side of the park, and ignoring all possible facts about London geography, which screw that, I don't know. You come out of this park and see on the other side of like square traffic from you is I made notes for these reasons. The National Gallery in Trafalgar Square, art museum in the heart of London. And you see crowds around it, sort of like protesting, like forming a circle around the National Gallery. And you see there are other crowds, some media, some police as well, up there interacting with the protesters. But even more noticeably, you see bright, shining, golden wolves circling in and out of the protesters, making this perimeter. And you see smoke coming out of the door of the National Gallery. No, you're just gonna knock everything over and hop in my lap and claw me. Stop it.
Hey, I promise to behave.
I'm sorry, I've been hurt before. So yeah, what would be your reaction here?
Well, God, Oz is definitely the deity of bad ideas, and where there's smoke, there's fire. So obviously, in order to stop the fire, we need the river.
So are you calling the river to you?
Yes, I am.
I think I'm gonna call that a miracle.
Yeah.
Unless
Sure.
you've got a different move you're triggering here.
No, miracle works just fine. Well, obviously, it's going to attract other gods to the city. And while there's so many other delicious options, we already know that the river has a mind of its own. So how can I not choose that?
So you're going to give the river a little bit of life of its own here?
It's not so much as Oz giving it at this point as the river just taking it.
True enough. So yeah, are you going forward into the building? Are you going forward to the crowd? Like, what's your destination here?
Yeah, I think I think Oz is going to ride the river towards the smoke.
Cool. And the two of you like Maya definitely grabs onto you and rides with you on the river. But of course, just as you're splashing through the doorway into the National Gallery, from a like cross doorway in front of you, out comes walking Ray, and Maya just gives this like eye rolling, like the party's over sort of look at you, as Ray looks around a bit confused. And we'll skip back over to dinner, with Ra motioning at the table and saying, "Are you going to sit? It would be very rude to have poor Pierre do nothing." And she points over at a waiter who has a tray and an incredibly uncomfortably confused look on his face.
I will probably follow manners and sit for this because I'm not quite ready to do something terrible, but I also don't know what Liam has inside of him.
Op-ep?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out a chair and sit because I know manners, even if I apparently am not super great at them. And Barry had a good question that does randomly hissing at people count as big reveal, or is that not big enough? Do I need to turn into full snake monster?
Well, let's look at the wording real quick. What's it say?
Just says when you reveal your true form to someone, they gain a string on you, and then they can accept you or reject you for different mechanical benefits.
Um,
And I don't think I'd told anyone that I'm sometimes a snake monster yet, so that's why I question.
I think we're still at the level of like your life's barometer for minimum weird is a bit higher than the normal mortal. Um, so that definitely caught people's attention. But if you want to trigger that move, I think it's going to need to be something a bit more obvious. It doesn't need to be full were monster at the table, but we got to at least transform a major portion of your head or something like that.
See, I thought you were biting
Awesome.
your tongue and not responding to Ra.
Oh, okay, cool. That.
I thought you were leaning into
Oh.
the silence move.
Oh no, I thought that straight up hissing at someone didn't count as holding silence, but I would be happy to hold silence.
You're literally biting your tongue.
Yeah, how do you want to play that, Ryan? Is that like Liam's instincts coming to the fore, but you bite down on that hiss and we see you silently sit down? Or are you giving a full-on threat as you sit?
No, sure, it totally is. Liam still has some, word of the underworld propriety senses, and he's gonna collect himself, like, pardon my outburst, and sit down like a normal, polite person.
All right, so patience is a virtue when you bite your tongue and don't respond to an antagonist. Roll with cold.
And if I was prepared, I would already have that in the window, but I don't, so you get to listen to me talking about how I'm terrible and I'm ruining everything for a second.
Oh, gosh. It is all your fault. Do we need to go back to Darkest Self? Do you need to be reminded?
Well, that would trigger big reveal. So, that's a 12. I am super fucking cold.
Whoa! So I think you gain a string on her. Yes, wow. You get a string on Ra. Go for it. So, is there anything that you would like to ask of Ra? Is there anything you want Ra to do right now, or do you want to hold on to that string?
I'm gonna hold on to it for a second.
You're not going to frivolously, I mean wisely spend it immediately?
Patience is a virtue, as it says on the tin, so.
Curses. All right. So you sit down and Ra motions Pierre forward, and he like very sort of shaking hands, stammering a bit, like lays down water, takes your order. Which do you let Ra order for you, Khonshu, or do you break in?
I think that looking like I'm trying to determine how threatening Ra is trying to be, because obviously Ra is like presenting like an artifact of physical violence and threat, and I'm not ready to take it to that level yet.
The setting is definitely very like dominating sort of alpha personality. There's definitely threats laid out on the table, but
Sure.
her face is not like hard and watching you squirm. It's happy. It's sort of like looking like she's enjoying the food and also the spectacle of making you squirm.
Sure. I think to Pierre, then I'll say I'll tell him that I'll have whatever the house has on offer tonight, and take your time with it, sweetie.
And he he collects your orders and looks sort of confused for a moment as Ra sort of rolls her eyes and just motions with a hand, and there's like this blinding flash of light, and then Pierre isn't there.
Oh, Pierre, I didn't want you to disappear.
Well, he has to place the order somehow, you know.
I just hope Pierre's okay. And so now with Pierre gone, I'll turn to look at Ra and say, "What have you been waiting for? You were trapped for an eternity. What's 6 months more? What do you want, Ra?"
Oh, what makes you think I haven't been busy? An eternity in a box means there's such a long list to get to. But finally, I've crossed off some things, and I'm here. Here to meet with you. I'm here to have a lovely meal under the moonlight in Paris. Who wouldn't want that? On a rooftop? Your own private table? Seems rather fitting for your station, don't you think?
Well, I only had two in mind originally, but it is an honor to have you as our guest.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt a meaningful occasion.
Just time with friends.
Yes. Poor Liam. Taken from us too soon, but at least you seem to be holding up well. Fine, fine. While we're waiting for dinner, I suppose I can at least lay out a proposal to you. Nyx, he says, rolling the moon between his fingers, is gone. You have no guiding light for your pantheon.
Oh, and may I assume that you have a replacement in mind?
Well, I seem to have been convincing thus far. I assure you that the people that have followed me are finding a lot of fulfillment in the missions we have going forward, in my view of how things are going on. And with Nick's gone, mine is the only view.
Are you sure they all feel that way?
Sure, all of them that left do. Sure, all of them that are left do. Words am hard.
Well, it sounds like you're not a terribly convincing leader then. If you've summoned 12 people to you and one has already left you.
Well, but that's just the point, isn't it? You freed poor Magdalena. It was a shame what happened there. If I'm being honest, I blame myself for it. She was the first that I came to. And I'd spent so long in that hell that Nyx made for me. I think I just didn't use enough care. There was an imbalance, something wrong in her. But you fixed it, didn't you? You came forward and you You were willing to save her. That speaks of something very high and noble in you.
Let's save her from you.
Save her from herself and the deity that she couldn't handle.
It sounds like you're blaming Magdalena for what happened to Magdalena. I thought it was your fault. I thought it was you who was tied up too long. Which is it, Ra?
Are you trying to shut her down?
I'm trying to call her on her shit.
Ooh, exciting.
I have a new move and I want to use it.
All right. So call
I'm
people
also-
on their shit. When you call people on their shit, these are very straightforward. Roll with gold.
I am exceptionally bad at cold.
Ooh.
Oh, but that's a 11.
Damn. So on a
Uh,
10 plus, you choose one from below.
they choke up, break down, or bail. Choice made.
Um. And so what was the last thing you'd said to her?
That she's blaming Magdalena for she's not clear about who's at fault here. She's trying to be all noble and be like, oh, I made such a mistake, but now it's like, oh, Magdalena couldn't handle it.
And I think you do, like, you catch her up for a minute. And she's like, well, of course I meant look, it doesn't fucking matter. You want to cut out all the niceties? I can cut out all the niceties. I'm here to say one thing, and that's this. There are going to be 12 gods. They're going to be my gods. You can be a part of those, because other than those 12, there aren't going to be any. This offer doesn't last long, so make sure you think about it. And there's a blinding flash of light, and you're left up on the top of the roof with Pierre coming back through with the tray and sort of looking around confused and going, wait, but
Well, maybe Pierre will join us. I don't know how to get him back to the kitchen.
And Liam is busy kind of rubbing at his eyes because why is everyone flashing bright lights at him tonight? This is the worst.
So yeah, Liam, this has been an interesting start to the evening, and you held your tongue through Ra's whole visit. What do you have to say?
I think there's a pause where he kind of unclenches his teeth from where he's been literally biting his tongue through this entire thing. He says, so clearly I missed some stuff here.
Barry needs to know what you're referring to.
The whole Ra pitching one Pantheon at you and everything while he was off in his mope tunnel.
Oh, gotcha.
He's doing the clearly I know everything, but you should fill me in on the stuff because
Right.
who knows what I missed, where he doesn't know what's going on.
It's just the same as Nick's. He'd have our skulls or she'd have our skulls if that's what she thought was going to be right. You know, it's not the way forward. It's your prophecy.
And just as a meta note to throw in there so you feel more comfortable, I've been very intentionally, like, gender fuck with Ra. He or she, either one is fine, and they respond to both, and slip back and forth between both.
In other words, you're saying Ra is gender fluid.
Yes. Indeed, Ra is Ra is Ra.
Yeah, and William actually kind of scratches at the back of his neck. He's like, well, except I was never very great at prophecy, and wrinkle and all that, and he just pulls off the mirror shades and puts them aside, and he's got full-on snake eyes. They don't look like Liam eyes at all.
What did you do?
I didn't do a thing. It just happened.
Liam. Oh no. um this is heartbreaking.
Yeah, he does a couple of hard blinks and they come back to Liam eyes.
Do you say that?
Uh I I thought you had gotten out.
I mean, I think we knew when we got on this ride that there's no way off. Not for real.
I think that might be a shut someone down on poor Liam there, as like you finally get up the nerve to reveal yourself to someone, and her first reaction is disappointment. Oh no, what have you done? Rather than like, you're back with us.
Is that a shutdown, or is that the big reveal?
I'm
Are
not
you going to take the
especially
plus one
sneaky.
forward against me?
I'm only a little sneaky.
That's true.
Yeah,
yeah.
we haven't had the physical reveal yet.
Well, I'll roll with cold. I'm bad at this though, so that's good.
I'm excited.
You're gonna shut down the king of shutdowns.
That's a 6 after I take off my cold, but I do have a string on you. I don't know what the results on shutdown are.
Let's see. 7 to 9 is you get to make a choice, but we'll get a.
Yeah, that's
back.
fine. I'll spend my string. That's fine. Yeah, so that'll be a 7.
All right, so fucking OPEP, you're gonna get to give a condition back, but what are you gonna choose from the list, Kanchu?
They lose a string on you, or if they have no strings. Do you have any strings on me?
I have very few strings on anyone.
You don't. Oh, that's weird. I spent the string to get it, and then so I could just gain another string back. Maybe I'll just do that. Just keep it. We'll just keep it at neutral, but you can give me a condition.
I'm gonna give you the condition wannabe because you were sort of positioning yourself as the power in this pantheon.
Nice. I'll take an XP for that.
And OPEP, I think I'm good with you clearing failure. Because I think you're like reemergence and proving that you're not just the whiny human hanger-on that used to be, sort of thing.
Yay!
This is the saddest success for you ever.
You only have all of the conditions left.
I now have one spot for a new condition.
And I think that's enough to trigger helpful spirit as well, because you were there for the reveal. You were the audience for the reveal. Unintentionally counts as well.
Well, it says when you help someone resolve a condition. I don't think that I helped. I think that OPEP helped himself, which is okay with me. I don't need to trigger that.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about it, and I talked through my feelings at you, even if you didn't give me the answers I wanted. So you can have a string
fair.
on me if you want.
Okay. I'll take another string on OPEP. Why would I ever want strings on someone who I can make requests of to go be a big snake monster that wants to eat the sun? That will never come in handy.
There's no reason you'd ever need leverage on me. I'm completely in control of everything. I'm a very rational person.
Excellent.
So yeah, speaking of, is there anything that you'd like to ask of OPEP right now?
Oh, what do I want to ask of OPEP right now? I might think of something if you want to cut back over to the other scene.
I think that sounds wonderful. So yes, you're coming into the National Gallery. There's Ray. Maya and Ray start to look a little more light showy. There's greens and purples coming through the windows. And you see, like, it's not hard to find your path. There's a line along the walls of burned and twisted frames that are lying on the ground. You can follow the path fairly easily. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I'll follow the path. King of good ideas.
um, so you're going down, and it's just this like long row of frames and mounts and burned paintings and destroyed masterpieces. You can see the tags for a lot of them of what they were. But you work your way through the museum and in towards the center. You come around a corner and you see Dia standing there. And she's staring at the wall. And as you get sort of in line, you can see that she's standing in front of Sunflowers, Van Gogh. Just staring at it with sort of like appraising, sort of disapproving look on her face. What are you going to do? She hasn't noticed you yet. She seems very absorbed. And are you still riding on a river? I suppose that's also...
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely riding on a river.
Okay, so you probably won't stay out of her notice for long. But yeah, what are you going to do?
If she's appraising the flowers, I think I'm going to go and I'm like, you know, they are kind of ugly.
They're interesting.
I mean, I guess they make people happy.
They make people distracted.
Is that always such a bad thing?
Yes. They dilute people's attentions, their energies, their lies on paper, their wastes of time. There's so much that's been bottled up and kept behind. Don't have time for this sort of frippery.
I don't know. I hear that after about 6 hours of working on something, people's productivity actually starts going to shit.
It's because people haven't found the right things to inspire them with. It's because people don't know how to instill the love of a dream. Just this nonsense, this distraction, these fantasies. People don't need to be distracted from their work. They need to be obsessed with it.
Is that what you believe in these days?
What I believe in is the truth. What I believe in is stripping away all of the lies in the society. What I believe in is the great transcendence that's coming. The fuck do you believe in? Art pictures and more parties?
I believe in people.
You shouldn't. People are just what Nyx is made of them. She's had her grip on the world for hundreds of years now. People are just an extension of her tools. They need to be contained. They need to be retaught. They need to have their eyes open to what's been hidden from them. They need to be brought back into the light.
Huh. Why don't we go and sit down, have a picnic, I'd be happy to hear more about this.
She'll snap her fingers, and Sunflowers goes up in flames.
I get an XP.
She turns to you and looks at you, sort of basked in the light of the flames. More lies, more distractions, more time wasting. Why would I go have a picnic with you?
Well, it seems more productive than destroying what other people have worked on already. That sounds like a big old step backwards, and I'm shutting her down.
I like it. Give me a roll.
How did I succeed at that? That's a 7. I'm so bad at shutting people down.
So you're gonna make a choice, and she's gonna come back at you with a condition.
I'll take a string on her.
Nice.
I assume she never had a string on me.
No, she doesn't have any particular strings on you. So that's that's Apollo as well, if you want to note that. And Vashna, how is poor Oz looking? um. Well, we'll just go with curious as the sort of general, but like you can't help yourself but think what sort of like big magnificent plan would send someone into this sort of mania. Like obviously you wouldn't go to this sort of extreme, but like
I would easily go into this sort of extreme.
So you might go to this sort of extreme, but first, like you really want to know what is the thing, what is the idea, what is the vision that sent her over the edge, sort of thing.
Okay.
But we'll go for the condition. We'll go with the general curious. And yeah, I think we'll skip back to Paris by moonlight.
Would now be a good time for a quick break?
Yeah, I was just interested in hearing if you had anything in particular for
I
you wanted to use that string on.
I definitely do.
Okay, lay it out there, and then we can think about it over the break.
I want Ryan. I will spend a string and give you an XP if you show me that that Opep wants to be here and that Conchu was his first choice.
Important clarifying question. When you refer to Opep, do you mean Opep and Liam? Or just Opep? Or does it matter to you? Okay, cool. I love that.
From a story perspective, I don't care. It's a bad idea, and that's what we're here for.
Either or both. Let's see it. So think about your reaction. There's some music for a break. We'll come back on the hour. So if someone else wants to put up a song, that is fine too. First come, first serve. Let's do it.
Quick sound test. Testing. No!
Oh
Supposed to
no!
be heart muted right now.
Oh no! Well, we could hear you.
Yes, but it probably means that my computer is drawing from the wrong microphone again.
Oh no!
How about now? Shit.
Yep.
Can still hear you, but it sounds like it's the same mic.
Yes.
Computers are the worst.
We're gonna get through this.
I mean, I love you. Don't blow up or catch on fire or anything. All right. So I think I want to stop in and check on some humans that may have been out on the table from Barry and Ryan, and then we'll hit sort of an end on these scenes, and then we'll come in for the mysterious start of our epilogue experiment. So, Barry, Huma.
I did not get there.
Do you have any idea for, like, given what's happened in this session, do you have something like a shape of a character you think might be cool?
Nope. Sorry, I've been too busy in the chat trying to romance Liam and Opep, but I do want Pierre to be.
Oh my god, we can definitely make Pierre a character.
Pierre's great. That poor scared man.
Cool. So I think if y'all are gonna like endear slash hook Pierre in, I need to hear like how you got him home slash back to the restaurant slash like how did your night end with Pierre there?
Well, let's see. We're up on a rooftop, right? Well, it's not just anyone who gets to step by Starlight, right? So I'll it's the best tip that I can possibly imagine giving.
Nice. And I think you maybe even like step him back into the middle of the restaurant, so all of the like diners, all of his coworkers and everything see him arriving with two members of the Pantheon, and he gets a great story to tell out of it. I love it.
Perfect.
Ryan, you gave away slash I stole your NPC. Do you have another human?
Yes, my one NPC was still. Pierre was totally an offering for Barry because I was like, we have one. You could make Pierre's life even weirder.
Don't make
I already
offerings. That's Magdalena's curse talking.
Yeah. I already went ahead and filled in on the NPC tab. Oliver / Ollie, a super fan who's been in the background of like at least one panel every other issue. I don't know why none of you noticed him yet. I mean, do you look at the NPCs? But
I mean,
he's always
no.
Always had like appropriate face makeup for every show we went to. Man, nobody noticed that. That really hurts. He almost got clocked with a roulette table at that one Janice show. Really, nobody?
Look, it's hard to recognize him out of the ICP makeup.
Come on, friends don't let friends wear corpse paint. He's got standards.
True. Love it. I'm into him. So yeah. I want to hear an answer. Are you going to accept that XP, OPEP? And if so, what does that look like? Do you make Khonshu feel special, wanted, loved, at least looked at?
Yeah, I think he kind of... Man, should this still be at the rooftop table or should it be afterward?
I still like it on the rooftop.
Okay, yeah, so it's still on the rooftop table. He's got his mirror shades and he kind of like folds them. And he's kind of worrying at him, like he's not sure if he's going to put them in his pocket or put them back on or what. Because I haven't actually told anyone about this yet. It seemed like you were the one to go to. And we've got that whole Egyptian thing going now. And it sounds like this came out of nowhere for you too.
I thought you would have been. I thought you were going to be okay. But I mean, together we're going to have to be, right? What
I mean,
you
I
didn't
believe
have
in
a
us and
choice
all.
about it. You didn't have a choice about it, did you?
No, but I mean, if it had been a choice, I don't know what I would have said.
When I thought I had a choice, I didn't know what the choice that I was making meant. I didn't know how lost I was going to be. And I don't know how else I would have gotten back without you. So if there's something that I can do to help you back, that's what I'll do. I can do that for you.
I mean, it seems to me like you're doing fine, and you held your own with Raw and everything.
Well,
And you're, what, camping in Paris now? Doesn't look too shabby to me.
I've just been finding myself again. It was scary watching the things that I did or didn't do. I don't remember exactly what happened. But I'm glad you're here with me now. And I think that's when Kanchu reaches across the table and touches your hand. And I'd like to turn you on.
Damn mute. Yes, I was. I've been sitting here like trying to figure out who was getting there first.
It's fair. I'm gonna do it this time.
I mean, to be fair, my hot took a major hit when I got possessed by a snake monster, so I'm not turning anybody on anytime soon.
It's fair. Okay, I'm gonna roll these dice.
Roll them.
Oh, before I look at the result, you have a condition that is overly emotional, and I'd like to hit against that.
So yeah, I think you gotta give us the cheesy romance movie. Like, is there a particular lighting or a music sting? Like
It's
what
Paris
is it?
by moonlight. How much more do you want?
Okay, so yeah,
The clouds part and reveal the Eiffel Tower.
There we go.
Yeah,
Lit up
yeah.
in the distance.
I think like the moon is full and like shining through the lattice work straight at you as these clouds come apart, and it's like there's a spotlight made of moonlight just for the two of you.
Oh, and Opep gets perfect lighting for the first time.
For the first time. Careful, we might move into a shutdown.
For the first time this Opep. Okay, so my dice are a 5, and the condition makes that a 6, and my hot makes that a 7.
Woo!
We did it.
So it's awkward, but we got there.
So on a 7 to 9, you can either give me a string or choose one of the reactions. I give myself to you, I promise something I think you want, or I get embarrassed and act awkward. Don't make it weird.
Make it weird.
I'm totally gonna make it weird, because I mean, I've already got strings on me. There's no reason that I should give you another string. And I think the fact that this is coming across so awkwardly, like you're just barely managing Kirdamon, is really endearing, especially to his overly emotional side, because that's a sort of genuineness he hasn't really seen since Eris. Dead forever. No one will ever see him again. It's so sad. And how much do I want to commit? I think I want to commit super hard. Yeah, he's just gonna lean across the table and go in for a kiss. Like he's might be reading the situation totally wrong, but he's got Opep in the back of his head, screaming "Anarchy!" So rational thoughts a bit out the window.
I don't know about that. The snake telling you what to do.
That is amazing. And we definitely have like this full splash page shot of the two of you like standing there in the shaft of moonlight shining through the Eiffel Tower with the big moonlight lighting up the sky, and I think like decorative snakes crawling up around the edges of the panel. It is extra fancy on every level.
I'm gonna ask the question. It's the month of December. Are we going full Christmas special?
Why? Do you want it to start snowing?
No. Have you read the Christmas special?
The
Oh, yeah.
Christmas special is the everyone fucks everybody else
I'm
special.
sorry. Yes, true. More specifically.
I mean, rooftops. I'm just saying.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Oh man, this is the. Sorry, David.
Yeah.
Uh,
Up may have dinged his hot, but I think also dinged his self-control. So
Excellent. Oh, let's make it weird. Okay.
Oh,
This
let's
is-
totally make it weird. Is this
So-
happening on the very top of the Eiffel Tower?
I think it's just on the roof that we're on.
Oh, okay. We send Pierre home first, right?
Yes. No, absolutely. No, Pierre's. We don't. Pierre does. This isn't. Pierre's not part of this scene. But. So how do we want to do this?
Let's start with Apep. What is your sex move?
well, it changed because I'm not a unicorn anymore. I've given up on integrity. So when you have sex with someone, you establish a deep spiritual connection with them until either of you breaks that spirit connection by having sex with someone else. Add +1 to all rolls to defend them. You can tell when that connection has been broken.
Yes.
Delicious. And Khonshu?
When you have sex with someone, both players secretly write down whether the sex was confusing or soothing for their character. If you reveal the same answer, both characters mark experience.
So I want you to both write in the chat whether this experience was confusing or soothing for your character. We ready?
Okay, mine is written.
I was making notes on my... oh, I can put it in the wrong box. Anyway, I am writing a thing. Okay, I am ready.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Boink. Oh no!
So what happens if it's different?
I don't think anything specific happens because if you reveal the same answer, both characters mark experience.
Okay.
So,
Barry, talk to me about why that was confusing for Khonshu.
it was mostly confusing for Conchi because I don't think that's what Susanna expected when she got the text from Liam, and this night has escalated in some strange ways.
So this is genuinely like this is not where you were going, you didn't see this coming sort of thing.
Not upset about it, but
no, I
this is
understand.
how we got there.
Cool. So Ryan, why did you choose soothing?
So this is not what Liam expected either, but it's been a really weird few months. I mean, first he was a god, then he wasn't a god, and then he was a giant snake sometimes, and then Ra was like threatening him with dinner orders, and everything's been really strange. So this is kind of refreshingly normal.
Threatening him with dinner orders.
Conchi was almost as goth as you.
Yeah, she's hot and goth. I mean, that's very normal.
Nice. You do look amazing together. So cool. I think we end on that like magical y'all making out picture sort of thing. We might start next time with you in bed or some sort of other indicator. But I think that's beautiful and lovely and wonderful. So Oz, you're in less ideal situations. You have Dia Apollo there in front of you. You look to the side and you can see Maya is like looking at the wreckage and all the burned paintings, and she's just got like tears streaming from her eyes. What do you do?
So the last thing that I believe happened was I just shut Apollo down. So how does Apollo react to that?
And what choice had you made there?
I took a string on her.
she looks at you and she, like, rather than ranting, she does seem to connect more eye to eye with you, and she just like, I just they don't they don't understand how important this is. No one understands yet how important this is, and I don't have a lot of time. None of us has a lot of time. I mean, like, subtlety is not the way that we're going to win this war.
Does it have to be a war? I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend my last fucking year and a half fighting. I'd rather do something good with my time, even if it's small.
You could do something good. She grabs your hand and sort of brings it up, holding it. She says, you could be part of something amazing. You could help us change the world.
Oh fuck, this is such a terrible idea, but totally the thing.
Oh, terrible idea, you say?
Yeah. I think I bring my hand up to her cheek and like, I'm already part of something amazing. You were part of something amazing. We were human, and we, even with the gods with us, we still can be. And I'm gonna make her feel special because it's a terrible idea.
It really is. Oh, I love that he's still Oz underneath it all. Being very comforting to Maya, standing not feet away. But why don't you roll and see how it go?
I almost failed. That's a 7.
All right.
Oh,
a
so I get
7
to
to 9.
tempt them. Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
Okay, yeah. What do you want her to do?
I am going to tempt Dia to write again.
To write what?
She was a writer. That's what she loved before all this went down.
So you don't have a particular just like write her passion?
Yeah, write for herself.
So she's an NPC, so you're not offering XP. Instead, I have to come back with like what it would take from you to get her to do that. Um, what, like, and she'll ask you, what did you want to do before all of this? What did you want to be? What was your passion when you weren't walking around in movie theaters in black and white?
Oh fuck, this is so depressing. Uh before Nyx found me, I was just waiting to die.
So, I think she grabs your other hand and she leans in close and she says, "Tell me. Tell me about your life. Tell me about you. Tell me about the life of the man that would be Oz. That's what I want to write. And if you want her to follow your advice, if you want her to write again, like she wants you to open up and tell her about your life and write it about you.
If only I had a move to dictate how that goes.
Oh,
That sounds like sharing my pain.
it does in fact. Yeah. So, yeah, if you're gonna accept that, and it's not
Yeah.
like it'll be an extended in between session sort of thing. That sound good?
Yeah, but yeah, I would totally do that.
So go ahead and roll with dark.
That is a 9.
So on a 7 to 9, choose one from below. And we'll say that she has the condition fanatical right now, just to put that out as something that you can play with.
I wanted to get clear one of my conditions, but Oz would totally clear fanatical.
That's so sweet. You want to do that?
Yeah. Well, for one thing, yes, I wanted to make this person less murderific.
Nice. I think we'll figure out in between sort of how that shifts her, but that's going to have a major shift on her.
I would like to add one detail to the scene
Yeah,
that
go
we
for
just
it.
witnessed, and that is the look on both of the Janice's face with that like very intimate conversation.
Yeah, Maya is like. I think Maya looks like red cheek, ashamed and hurt, and Ray looks furious. So cool. I think that's where we're gonna end that scene. That was beautifully twisty. I like that. So our final thing is to come into our little epilogue seeds. This is for the end of the comic. We don't know exactly where it's going to go yet. We don't know yet whether you're going to be alive or dead. This whole revealing of the epilogue may tell us what this is. But we're going to start with Khonshu. Khonshu, there's a black page with the white symbols of the Pantheon in a circle. What does it say inside?
It says, "You're only 19, for God's sakes."
Nice. I love it. So we come to the next page, and it's a tight-in shot of eye or eyes. Describe it to us. What do the eyes look like?
It is. Well, I'm gonna go with the with what I've got on the sheet with Khonshu with the eclipse.
Okay, so this is like really Khonshu god eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Can we see anything in them? Can we see any expression in these alien eyes?
Oh, the giveaway is like the crow's feet. You can see that her cheeks are pushing them up because she must be smiling about something.
Nice. And is there anything else we should know about the visuals or the layout of this panel?
No. I'm just gonna say no.
No, I'm into
That's
it.
good enough for me.
That was I like how that felt. That was nice. So Oz. Similarly, we start with the black page. We start with the Pantheon wheel.
Oh fuck.
You want me to cycle through Ryan first?
Yeah, I know what his image is, but I don't know what his saying is.
Cool. We'll come back in a minute, and it can be as simple as one word. It can be mysterious, and we figure out the meaning later. But no longer Pluto. Fucking Apep. We have the Pantheon wheel. We have the black page. We have the white symbols. What does it say in the middle?
trying to pare mine down to short enough to fit into a Pantheon wheel.
Haha, feel the pain.
But I think it's just that clip of him say there was never a way off. And our image is him, zoomed in on one mirror shade where you can see someone else reflected in it, but not necessarily his eye. And he's got a hand up where he's like going to take him off, but who knows what sort of eye it's going to be underneath when the mirror shades come down.
Can we tell who's reflected in it?
Who is reflected in it?
Can just be a smear of face if you want.
I think we can sort of see that it's Ra's face.
Nice. We have that like brilliant white blonde hair sort of lit up as a halo around her face, and maybe like a bit of the gleaming gold in her eyes. Does that sound right? I love it. Is there anything else that we can see about this panel, or anything atmospheric?
I think the hand that's reaching up toward his glasses is also the hand that has that snake, like, mouth open tattoo, and his hand is positioned in such a way that you can sort of see it, even though that's got to be kind of an uncomfortable position. but it's on there.
Nice. I like that. It's got nice motion to it too. It's a good shot. All right, David, you have an idea?
Yeah, I think it's totally Oz to fuck up the Bob Dylan quote. He who isn't busy dying is busy being born.
Nice.
Because Oz would totally get that backwards.
So that's what we have on our Pantheon wheel. We come to the opposite page, and it's a close-up on your eyes, or it's a close-up on eyes. Describe them to us.
Yeah, so I think it's an extreme close-up on a single eye.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the dead white on white, but welled up like in the eye is blood trickling down, and it's not coming down, it's going off to the side. It's kind of revealing like the perspective on the page is wrong.
Nice. Can we see any emotion in the eyes?
Dead eye. Because, yeah, Oz is not likely to have a happy end.
And a moment of stillness and laying there dead can look fairly similar. But is there anything else in the panel in the comic that we see that you want to mention?
Not right now, no. I don't have any ideas of who's responsible and what might be in like the reflection of the eye. I think it's just like it doesn't even have like the normal sheen. It's like dull, like literal like dull, kind of almost a matte finish. So it doesn't have like that normal glisten that eyes do. But that might just be Oz. You know?
No, it's nice. It's a really striking, like stark image there. Cool. I like how those turned out. We will.
But can I change my line, because Barry reminded me that I could use a song lyric, and I think mine needs to be "Came Back Haunted" instead, because Nine Inch Nails. Why not?
Nice. Cool. And these can totally like evolve or refine as we go forward, and we see something better, or it can take a total 180 when we pull back further and see what's going on. I like how those felt, though. I'm excited to play with this. It gives us all sort of flags to aim towards at the end. I think we're gonna go ahead and stop. We'll end on time for tonight, and I think I can take the epilogues and all of our changes and setup stuff and new characters as flags to go forward with. Is there anything like you want to see this scene next week that you want to call out real quick?
Scene, I'm not sure, but I'm very excited about Khonshu and Apep becoming a power couple.
Me too. David or Ryan?
I want to see these new NPCs fuck shit up.
Me too, oddly. Ryan?
I sort of what I've been saying in the chat. I sort of want to see if Angus already moved on before Pluto moved on, or if, like, I think Pluto is still kind of into Angus, so there's gonna be that whole, like, apology, but yeah, our Reckless Romeo was like, but you were so 6 months ago. I mean, I have no idea how he's gonna react, and I'm super excited.
Cool. All right. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast here.